So I believe that he had a problem, and I believe that he didn't deal with it at all. And the problem with this addiction is that the more that you bury it, the bigger the grave becomes. Hey, welcome to Spaghetti Junction. My name's Gareth.
And I'm Bruce.
We talk about things.
We
just don't know where they're going to go. So, last episode, we didn't know where things were going to go. It actually turned out to be 2 episodes. So, welcome back. So, the question, though, that we really want to focus on is how did this happen?
And why?
How, why, and again, as Bruce was saying, it's not only Ravi Zacharias. There's been many who have fallen.
Yeah. I know you've had ideas about some other guys. I know you mentioned that you're probably going to bring up. Or not.
I'm actually, I think where we want to go with this now is healthier now than where we've been.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the thoughts that I sat down and I went, okay. And I did the usual Google searches,
Okay.
Why do Christian pastors fall into sexual misconduct or whatever like that?
Yeah.
And none of them really gave like solid reasons. I don't know. It was a bit, everything that I read was a little vague.
Okay.
And that kind of thing.
So what is your viewpoint?
So the thoughts I had, and I'm very keen to hear your opinion
shoot.
on this. So at age 17, he basically came to the Lord because he tried to commit suicide.
Oh, okay.
And when he was recovering from that attempt in hospital, someone brought him a Bible, and I think told him to read a particular scripture. I'm not sure what.
Okay.
And from then on, he was converted, and he then started his life in ministry, telling people about God, all that kind of thing. So that was 17. What his life was like before that, I'm not sure. His personal life and all that kind of thing. He got married very young, at 26. Now that feels that
26 isn't that young. And nowadays, okay, fine, that was like for 20, 30, 40 years ago. But I mean, 26, my parents got married when they were 21, 22.
Okay, so maybe, my thoughts is that 26 to get married is also still a little bit young.
Well, it depends where you come from. Okay, fair enough.
That sort of,
okay,
and then
that's what you feel. Cool, yeah.
Where met his wife, Margie at?
He met his wife.
Is that what I said?
He met his wife.
He met his wife.
You need to bring in a little bit of carry on, Bruce. I apologize.
A little bit of levity to the proceedings. Keep
on going with his wife. Yes. We just need a little bit of break here. No, carry on. In all seriousness, I think it's a valid point. Just keep on going.
Okay, cool. Thanks, buddy.
Anytime.
Love you. So he met his wife Margie at they were both at the same youth group, and he was 26 when they got married. I couldn't find out her age.
Okay.
And they were married for 46 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's epic.
I think it's close to what my parents are on at the moment.
Yeah, I mean his ministry was 40 years, roughly 40 years. So yeah, it sounds right.
So my thoughts around possibly someone who was so intense within ministry and stuff like that, and then I'm thinking that he might not have had a very prolific sort of dating history before he got married.
Okay.
But
I think it's not dangerous to say, but we don't know.
No, we don't. That's the thing.
So that's more like.
That's the thing. No,
so we can't say that he had like a poor dating life, but we don't know.
Or did he have a dating life at all before he got married? We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah. So sorry, I'm just trying to
No, that's fine.
keep us on the straight and narrow without saying with stuff that we don't really know.
No, absolutely. So, could it have been that during his marriage, he was, probably often tempted to partake in doing things that he knew he couldn't do because of marriage, because he was in a marriage and he was in ministry, and then that sort of came out in a very unhealthy way later on, and he started seeing, okay, well, I've got these massage therapists around me and stuff like that, and he had that stuff sort of going on in the back of his mind the whole time, and then suddenly temptation just got the better of him when he was alone with them, or when he was overseas, away from his wife, away from accountability.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, now I've got a chance to actually do this. No one's really watching. And it sort of, it sort of came out, but there was a lot of stuff that he kind of didn't have a lot of experience with when he was younger, and then felt that he had missed out, and then decided to go down that path, even though he was married and even though he was this massive leader. That kind of maybe took over a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because maybe when he was there, he was trying to sort of keep it down, repress it a little bit, because he's like, no, I'm married, I'm in a position of massive leadership. I can't be thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
But then, is there a chance that it maybe got a bit too much for him, and he let it sort of overflow?
That's an interesting thought.
And that can happen, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you for most of it, but look, it's your view, which is, that's why we have our views, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think of, I think back to sort of my sort of younger upbringing, and the fact that I repressed a lot of stuff that became unhealthy. But like repressed it. I repressed it because I thought I was sort of quote unquote doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And it actually was going to lead me down quite an unhealthy path.
Yeah.
Where I liken it to the whole thing of so there's just a jar that keeps filling up.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is you're tightening the lid, trying to keep that pressure in.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? It's not going to come out through the lid. That jar's going to burst, and that's bad. Instead of loosening the lid, kind of thing. And that I think a lot of Christian guys, I know that sort of I could see it happening in my life.
Yeah.
If I didn't do something about it.
Look, so, I think within that environment, I think as a Christian, as a leader of a huge organization, look, I think, well, from what I've seen and read, with the fallen, if that makes sense, with the pastors who have wiped out, fallen, whatever you want to call it, is as I think what you're saying is that if you're put in a position, like being alone with a masseur, or if you're at a point where you get I'm tempted by any point, and then you put yourself in that same position, countless times.
Yes,
that lid is probably going, that glass will there's a high percentage of it breaking. And I think within the Christian fields and stuff, one of the biggest, if you believe in the devil or not, whatever, that's your view. I feel because he doesn't like the church, he wants to break it up. It's an easy place to dig into. Is a Christian male in leadership, being alone with a woman over countless times, and you have urges once in a while. Now again, let's be very clear on this. What Ravi Zacharias did, terrible.
Yes.
This is in no way, let me underscore, whatever, bold writing, capital letters, underline, in like, in whatever writing you want.
You get it.
New Times Roman, never are we endorsing. In fact, it makes Bruce quite sad and quite just unsure about everything. But an interesting thing that someone wrote about, and I have a view, and then you can tell me what you think about it. Someone wrote an article about, is it possible that Ravi Zacharias was a sex addict? And let me explain why they had that opinion. So sure, that word sex addict has been thrown about, like honey, you know what, I didn't mean to have, sex with our neighbor's wife. It was bad and you're in trouble. Well, I have a sex addiction. No. Unfortunately, the word sex addiction may have been used out of context. It's not a get out of jail free word.
No.
It's not. But
you're looking like you want to say something, but you're not too sure if you should.
Yeah, I am.
Is there a way you can say it in a way that you think won't get us kicked off YouTube?
Maybe I'll put that on the back burner.
Okay.
We'll use it later. But I am aware, I'm aware of what the addiction is. I know a lot about it. I'm very aware of all of it. I know of somebody linked with it. And what they wrote about really made me think it's possible.
Yeah.
If you have over 200 photos of somebody or 200 numbers of masseuses.
I don't know what the plural
masseuse, I think they're called. Okay. If you have 200 of them on your phone, 200 photos of 200 women. Okay, well, fine. Sorry, it's 200 photos, so we don't know how many women.
Yeah.
If you do have those, you've got a problem.
Yeah,
you have a serious problem.
Yeah.
And again, it's not us saying that this is why he did it, and I believe strongly it was a factor to what he did.
Yeah.
There is no way that somebody could have 200 photos on their phone of other women, not his wife, without having a problem.
Absolutely.
I'm almost 100% sure he had a problem.
I'm actually looking at my notes now, and the way I sort of wrote them out might actually make a fairly pertinent sort of...
Go ahead and be pertinent.
I don't want to say diatribe. Or
well,
it's not a ramp. No, a rant.
It's not a ramp. I'm not talking about skateboarders and...
We're not going to ramp this up anymore. We might do.
We might. Carry on.
Okay. So the thoughts that I'd written here, I think... Let me just read this. Could it be the Ravi, like so many Christian men, married too early because he was possibly taught that it was the quote-unquote right thing to do? Bear with me.
Carry on.
He might not have even considered casual dating, getting more experience in general with women, not just sexually, just
But he was 26.
Yeah, we don't know what he did before that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's the thing. Maybe he did. Maybe he was a complete horn dog.
So what it comes across though from your viewpoint, you're saying, what if he didn't? So we don't know.
Yes, we
I
don't
just want
know.
to make that clear.
We don't know because this I think is a very common thing with a lot of Christian guys. Being taught to do the right thing, getting married, and then they get married too early, but they haven't kind of...
What were they taught the right thing though? What is the right thing?
Getting married, having a family, all that kind of thing.
But that's across the board though.
Yes, I know.
Women want that at the age of 21.
Yeah, but...
I'm just trying to...
Yeah, I know.
I'm playing devil's advocate right now because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me yet.
Yeah, okay.
Carry on. Sorry.
So,
I apologize.
He might not have considered casual dating, getting more experience with women, and establishing himself into his 30s and into his career before getting married.
Okay.
And so, this could be the cause of Ravi acting out. of after years of
acting out is a good word, by the way.
Thank you.
That is what is called, which you probably didn't know, but that's a terminology in sex addicts, is when they do stuff that is not, it's not what they want to do. It's in their life saying that I do not want to do this. This is like a no-go. And
But
they're
doing it anyway.
It's called acting out.
Right. After years of repressing sexual urges and fearing that he had missed opportunities because of early marriage, because guys, our sex drive is always on. Okay. We're always ready.
Yeah.
Let's just be real about this. Okay, we are.
Carry on.
That's what makes us guys. He found ways, albeit very unhealthy ways, to satisfy that need that he probably wasn't getting. Because maybe, having years into marriage, your sex life in marriage, a lot of times drops off. But guys, kind of, they're a little bit more, they're more keen, and it's always on, kind of thing. Legalistic repression of sexual urges leads to them manifesting in really dark and uncontrolled ways. That's what and then, my analogy about the jar and tightening the lid and stuff like that.
All right. Well, that's one side, which that's cool.
That was really my.
I see what you're saying. I think
thought. I hope I worded that well, or
no,
you
did.
Worded it in a.
No, I mean, I get your view. I get your view very much.
What do you?
Mine is probably the opposite side of the road.
I knew we were going to be coming from this from very different angles. Yeah. So I was.
But we both have our opinions, and that's what makes this podcast great.
Exactly.
Is that we both have our views.
Yeah.
And we're not saying others right or wrong. We're just saying these are what we feel. Because I think that if people are wanting in a podcast to be, the people like us, who do a podcast to be of like one certain thought pattern, or to be, that we can't rock the boat. Well, we're not robots.
We wouldn't have anything to talk about because we agree on everything.
Exactly.
That's the cool thing about us, about Gareth and Bruce, is that there are a lot of things that we actually don't agree on.
Yeah. There's a lot that we do. And that makes for interesting topics.
Don't get us started about Marvel and DC, but anyway.
Yeah. No, I'm actually on the same page as you.
Yeah, you started.
I don't do Marvel.
Yeah.
I do DC. The Dark Knight. Speaking of the Dark Knight. So for me, so I can understand from what you were saying, that's part of your life as well. So I can see why you're slightly invested into that conversation.
It just, because
you've had feelings
because of my experience.
You're more involved in that.
Because of my experience. That it when I see that stuff happening, I kind of go, could it have been? Maybe.
Yeah.
And we're saying this. Could this have been? Because we don't
exactly
know.
Underline.
We're just
bold italics.
Hypothesizing.
That's pretty good. Yes. Oh, yes. You got it. Word of the day.
Oh yeah.
Hypothesize. Nice. So for me, look, you do have some valid points in there. It's possible that he just didn't know how to control himself. Although I can guarantee, I would imagine married people are going to be like, yeah, so I don't see that as a reason why he would do it. I think because again, we don't know anything about his marriage.
No, we don't know what.
So that's your view. Cool.
Yeah.
My side, which I probably mentioned a little bit in our conversations, is that okay. There's no numbers with this. There's no 1 and 4. This is just my mixture of feelings. I do feel that he had a problem. I really do. And I do feel that he had a problem. If he had that amount of things on his phone, he had a problem.
There was an issue there, yeah.
That was more deep seated than just he wanted to go out and get a happy ending in a massage parlor.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel. I really do. I believe that he had a sexual problem, a sexual addiction problem.
Right.
An addiction problem is when you do stuff that you know you shouldn't be doing or that you don't want to do. But when that urge is there, you do stupid shit. He did more than that, though. And again, I'm not saying anything of what I'm saying right now is not saying what he did was right. So just make clear, everybody in your heads. I'm not saying that anymore. I've said that about 5 times. So I'm done with that. Being honest, I'm done with that. Okay. So number one, I think that he had a problem. Big. He did not bring it up to his wife. Otherwise, she would have known, obviously. He didn't bring it up to the board, to the pastoral people around him.
Yeah.
He didn't bring it to anybody.
Right.
So he chose to deal with it by himself.
Yes.
And this is a problem with people, who are addicts, who go through addiction problems. In the beginning, you don't tell people because it's embarrassing or it's difficult to deal with, or you just like doing what you're doing even though you don't like what you're doing. It's a paradox.
I get you.
There's enjoyment in what you do, but there's also disgust and shame with what you're doing.
Yes.
And also him being such a very high profile person with books and sermons and everything else going on and reaching millions of people.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to tell somebody is, okay, guys, I've got a problem. I'm wanting to do more than just have a massage. I'm wanting to take somebody with me as my massage, as my masseur, because I actually like doing a little bit more than just having a massage.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the problems.
Yeah.
Again, this is my view, my hypothesizing. Yes. So before you jump in, sorry, I'm almost done. I just want to get all this out. Then you can talk.
Please do.
Thanks, buddy. So I believe that he had a problem, and I believe that he didn't deal with it at all. And the problem with this addiction is that the more that you bury it, the bigger the grave becomes.
Yo.
I just came up with that.
Damn.
It's actually pretty good.
That's the tagline for the beginning of the YouTube video. I mean,
that's YouTube
the podcast.
That's actually pretty. Sorry, I mustn't praise myself. No, sorry.
No, damn it, praise yourself. We're amazing.
Amazing.
We're incredible.
We are actually, Bruce. You and me are pretty awesome.
Super good looking as well.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. There's photos of us there.
I love how we
Shameless
got our looks on Instagram in the middle of all this conversation.
Totally.
I love it.
Totally.
Good.
I don't know about you, but I'm a good looking guy. And so are you, bro.
You're quite sexy too.
No homo, but you're a good looking guy.
Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate it. That just happened. I think it's our natural, like mode was like, guys, this is enough now. My brain is saying, this is enough. Like, I'm dealing with all this crap. I'm going to blow. I'm just going to say something absolutely stupid because I can't get out of this. And here we are.
I think we went from, because I think we went from degrees of heaviness. It like started off as like,
sure.
Like Sherman tank heaviness, and then it probably went to like blue whale heaviness, and then water pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, and then it was like, you know what, we need to start talking about how good looking we are.
That's our defense mechanisms right now that popped up.
Speak for yourself, bro.
Thank you. So going back to Ravi Zacharias and so forth. The more that you choose to not deal with your problem, it doesn't make it go away. It enlarges it.
Yeah.
And it just makes it bigger. And you're feeding fuel into, I guess, what can be spoken about, like a baby. And the more that you get, it just grows and grows and grows and grows until all of a sudden you're dealing with a giant.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to get out of it, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, man. I think that he just didn't bring it to light until he just got immersed into it.
Yeah.
And I believe that was one of the factors.
Could it also have been just from because it It's very strange though, because he didn't engage in a lot of what you would call normal sexual contact. It's almost like he wasn't having affairs with multiple women.
Yeah, get you.
It was like a massage therapy thing that he had a thing for, and an emotional affairs. He had a lot there were a lot of messages and stuff where he was talking very intimately.
Yes, and they weren't all masseurs, by the way. They were
they weren't.
Other women, yes.
Yeah, it's because it's like he could have gone that route of,
sure,
like, and women are attracted to men in positions of authority.
But that's how he had those conversations with them online. Not online. Sorry, that's how he had those multiple messages back and forth, and how he got photos.
But it's crazy how, like, if you're a guy in that position, I also don't think he probably knew how to deal with women in general.
I'll give you the reason why that didn't happen, is because it's easier to keep that hidden than actually having an affair.
That's also true.
It's far easier to do that, and also within the it's addictive thing. There are different things that attract different people within their addictive cycle and their addictive style. Some will have an enjoyment. Look, I think he genuinely started with the massages because he had back problems, and then that just began to escalate into something extra that was not what he planned for, but got into and fed into his inner giant.
Yeah, it's
so that's why I believe he did that.
This
is our perceptions, obviously.
It's almost like my thinking is like, okay, maybe this was kind of almost like a rationalization of what he was doing. Maybe he rationalized this in his own head. Maybe he could have said, okay, I'm married, so I can't just go off and bang countless women.
Sure.
I'm also in a position of massive leadership, massive responsibility or whatever, but I can feed this in other ways. Photos on my phone, correct, intimate conversations,
exactly,
all of that kind of thing.
Yep.
And then look, if you're lying on a massage table and a girl is rubbing oil on you, you're gonna get your libido is gonna kick in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're maybe gonna try stuff. And
possibly, but okay, carry on. But I think what I was gonna say is that would be a percentage, not all.
Yeah.
Because there are massage places that are purely massage places.
Absolutely.
There are places where you can go if you want to, if you know about them. I don't, but if you did,
yes,
you would go to a certain massage parlor that gives the happy ending.
Yes, that is a little bit more physical.
Physically
intimate contact.
The physical masturbation, basically. That's what a happy ending is, exactly. So, I just wanted to bring it out because otherwise we're using a word and trying to be like all nice and polite and tiptoeing.
Well, we're further into this podcast. We might get another email.
Yeah, exactly. Don't talk about that kind of stuff. When you said the word happy ending, that's it, buddy. We're not going to ban your whole channel.
Yeah.
Okay. 6.
So it went from the metric of happiness to happy endings. Like, have you got a problem with being happy?
Happy.
Damn it.
Exactly. So yes, I do see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that people will, if they really want the happy ending, they will find where it goes.
Yeah.
And you'll know when you go to a place if they are going to offer it or not.
Well, I learned that.
Oh.
Yeah, I learned stuff from time to time.
And I'm just wondering where this is going to go.
I learned if you look for something, if you put enough effort into it, you're going to find it.
That's correct.
So, and he found it.
Yeah.
He did. But unfortunately, in his position, it affected a huge amount of people.
Absolutely. And there's all these. And the problem is that it's being dealt with, but he's already passed away. That he's not there to actually deal with it and to actually face everything. He's passed away.
Yeah, it's almost like how convenient. But it is, and it's like,
Well, to me, the bigger question is, I just hope that we don't know what happened between him and God.
no, we don't.
But the hope is that before he passed away, he said that he was actually at a point where he's like, God, you know what? I've done all this stuff. I've messed up. Because the bottom line is, he has passed away. It's now with him and God.
Absolutely.
And wherever people want to believe or not, it's going to be with him and God. What's been happening these past few years.
That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Can I end with a quotation here?
You may.
So this came from one of the conversations within this whole, whatever word we're going to use, this whole boom. I don't know what word to use right now.
Is discussion too much of a weak word?
No, not really from us. Actually, from the whole debacle is that. But that's like a very limp word to use. With everything that happened with Ravi Zacharias, this whole scenario is a soft word. I'm going to end with something that came out of that.
Okay.
Says this, and this is, from actually involved in this. Do not trust instincts over evidence. Never say, I know this man, and he would never do anything like this. The goal of any organization facing claims of abuse should be discerning truth, not discrediting accusers. All accusers should be treated immediately, publicly and privately, with dignity and respect.
Well, there you go.
Thank you.
Sure.
I think the dogs are saying, guys, stop it. I'm a dog and I'm already getting depressed.
The dogs are feeling the heaviness out there. So.
Yeah.
And on that note, this has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast. I'm Bruce.
I'm not sure who I am right now. Because this has been quite... we have done some strong ones. Look, I'm glad that we've done this in the sense where it is happening. It is a topical thing. And me as a Christian, you as a Christian, it's just something that's impactful.
Yeah.
But my name is Gareth. I think.
You think?
I hope so.
I think you will. I think we're gonna.
We're gonna have a shot for something after this.
I think we're gonna just to kind of chill out and relax and.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please come over, engage with us in the comment section.
Yes, please.
Please follow us at the Spaghetti Junction podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, that's going pretty well, eh?
Yeah, I think we're up to a grand total of about 30 followers.
Hey, we're at a grand total of 9 subscribers on our podcast.
Still 9. We're just waiting for
come on, guys.
That double digits,
one of you,
man.
let's just make us happy, and then after 10 we'll be like, okay, fine.
No, we can't be happy because YouTube doesn't want us to be happy.
You're right.
I know. So maybe we should just stay at 9. Okay, someone. Okay,
that is very funny.
Can 2 people subscribe so we get to 11? So we just break that 10.
And stop being happy.
Because after 10 we can go back to being unhappy.
Yes, because it's
so we can go from being unhappy at 9 subscribers to unhappy at 11 subscribers.
That's perfect.
As long as we're not happy at 10 subscribers.
Yes, no, 10 is just wrong.
No, it's wrong.
10 is wrong. We can't be. That's actually pretty clever.
I know, right?
I have to say, out of all the jokes you made now, out of these 2 podcasts, that was probably the best.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been beautiful. And why has it been beautiful?
This has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys.
It's been great, guys.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Charles, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.